This could be a scenario that you guys come across, right? You might choose to do this someday for whatever reason, right? Like if you want to buy something and like you're working a job, you put this much money away each month just to have X amount of money at the very end so that you can buy that item, right? John wants to save up for a trip, which will be over the Christmas holidays. Okay, he speaks with his parents about it, and they agree. Should be a little Y there. That he can have a part-time job to help him afford the trip. His parents give him $100 to start off, and each week he saves $20. Okay, so why don't we start with the fact that how much money does John have before he's worked at all? Okay, so why don't we, I think I may have, here, scratch this out. I labeled this wrong. Not weeks. Let's do number of hours. I poked a hole in my own question. What are we gonna do here? This might be okay, actually. Wait. We're okay. We're okay, actually. Okay. Let me ask this question again, now that I'm in the right head space. How much money does John have before he's worked any weeks at all? Kiriana? $100, because his parents gave him $100. He hasn't worked yet. Does that make sense? So let's just go with the fact that we haven't worked any. Here, I'll do it in red so you can see it. We work zero weeks. How much money does he have? $100. Right? Is everybody okay with that? You could pick any inputs you want, right? I would say maybe try and pick some easy ones, right? So after 1 week, Liberty, hey, how are you? You want to take one of these, Liberty, just before you go all the way back? There you go. Okay. If John works 1 week, how much money is he going to have in his bank account that he's like putting money in? Kiriana. Okay, how come it's 120? Kiriana?
Because if you're getting paid $20 a week and you already have $100, that 100 doesn't double. It's only 20.
Yeah, because you're only getting that $100 once, right? From your parents. So then you're gonna go, okay, well, the next one, I still have that $100 in the account, right? It's not gonna just disappear, right? But now you're gonna put another 20 in. Does that make sense? So you can keep doing this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could fill it out, right? 140, 160, 180, 200, 220. What's the problem with this though? Let's jump back over to the box on the left. How much money will John have after 52 weeks? Yes, Leia.
I already have the answer. Can I say it?
Just 1 sec. I want to there's a really fast way to do this. And there's the long way to do it, which also gives you the answer. Say that again. 200. So you're just following a pattern. What's the pattern here? It's just going up by $20. All right, does that make sense? So, but what's my problem now? What's the problem I've proposed here? Kiriana?
You're asking how much money
After 52 weeks, right? And so, are you going to? I'm not saying that you wouldn't. Maybe you would do this. I wouldn't advise it, but maybe you would sit here and go create a table and just keep going and going and going and going and going and going. Does that sound like a good use of time?
No.
All the way to 52? What's that?
I don't even think you have enough room.
Oh, definitely not enough room on this table, but like, let's just say you wanted to write it separately, right? Then you could on a separate piece of paper, but there's a faster way. Okay. That's where, see how like that's a limitation of the table. If I ask you something like how many tiles in the 16th stage or how much money you have after 52 weeks, you don't want to sit there and use a table of values. What do you want to use? Did you say graph? That's perfect if you said graph. Oh, math. Okay. Okay, it was close enough. Remember the other day if we produced a graph or something and it went like this? And if I put the number of weeks down here or something, what could I do? I could go over and find 52 and read up to the line, couldn't I? That's a way. Still not the best way. We'll do that in a sec. Do you guys want to produce the graph and see what happens? Why don't we do it in that order? Okay. So let's produce the graph. Well, I'll leave it like this, actually, number of weeks. I'll decrease my pencil size, though, so you can see. Okay. So let's put number of weeks on the bottom. What do we call this one? Independent. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's what I was looking for. Good. Number of weeks, right? We call this the independent. If I can spell it. Independent. Okay. And what's the thing we're trying to find? What's on the other axis, we call it, eh? This is called X, and what's the other one's Y? What goes on it? How much money I'm making, right? Or saving, sorry. Okay. Now, we can see what happens here. Oh, Apple Pencil's gonna... What are we gonna count up by? 20? Where? Oh, sorry, I wasn't really specific. Where are you counting up by 20? On which axis? On the savings, so by 20? Okay, that's fine. So this is a little bit tight. Are you starting at 0 there, Cole? We can start at 0, right? And you want to go by 20s? So can I count by 40s and just skip a line? Is that okay? Okay, I'll do 20. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Okay? Once I do that, can I do this? This is faster for you guys. You can do this if you want. How many boxes did it take me to get to 100? It took me 5 boxes, right? So can I count another 5 boxes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and put a 200. That saves you guys writing. And it's neater. Does that make sense? Okay, you don't have to write all the numbers, but you have to follow the same order. Like, you can count every 5 boxes and put the tick on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 300. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 400. Does that make sense? That's a better way to do it. And it's neater. Look how neat that is now. You can do the bottom if you want, every box, so that you can see for yourself what's going on. But I wouldn't sit there and write every number. That's not a good use of your time. For what? Why did Cole pick going up by 20s on there? It's a smart selection. Why did he pick that? Yes, carry on.
Because
He's
he's earning $20 a month.
earning $20 every week. So he knows like the line is just going to go up by 20, up by 20, up by 20, up by 20. So he chose that in a clever way, right? Cole, what do you want to count by? I don't know if 500 is enough. We can add to it if you want. We could go all the way to the top. I don't necessarily know what the answer to this question is. We don't know yet either, but we may as well keep going. What's that? Is the sharpener here, buddy? I don't know if it's here. Is it here?
It's hard to write it in small.
Oh, true. True. Okay. Cole, do you have any idea how many, like you want to fit 52 weeks across the bottom, right? What did we count? I think we did this grid yesterday. Does anybody remember how many boxes went from left to right there? How much? From here to here. So what could I fit on this, you can't see. How many boxes are in between left and right there? Watch it be 52 right on. That would be something. I don't know if it is or not. What we can count by twos if you guys want to. Twos is fine. Why don't we? Is it 40? Okay, so let's count by twos because it's not enough to answer our question, right? But we can do the same thing. You don't have to write all the numbers in there. If every box is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, again, it's 5 boxes to get to 10. So the next, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That must be 20. Then we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That must be 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 40. And 52 is right there. That's nice. Can we start plotting some points? Is everybody okay? All right. Okay. What's the first? I'll plot. What color should I do, Sean? What color should I do?
Orange.
Okay, does orange show up on the green? A little bit. Can everybody see that okay? I don't want to use red just in case somebody can't see the red on the green. Okay. But orange is okay for everybody? Or black? You just want to do black or orange, John?
Either way is fine.
What?
Either way is fine.
Okay. What's the first point I need to plot? Let's go back to our table. We started with some points here, didn't we? Yes, carry on.
You start at 0 and plot
100, 0, 100. So let's go plot, where's 0? 0's here, right? We're gonna, remember, this is X and this is Y, right? Money saved we put on the Y axis. So I'm gonna go find 0, and then I'm gonna read up to 100. Everybody see that? Does anybody have any questions? That's a special point. We're going to come back to that. That's a special point. Okay? In about 2 minutes, 3 minutes here, when we're going to come back to that point. Okay? What's the next point? 1 and 120. So we're going to go halfway in between. 1 is there, and we're going to go up to 120. Where's 120? Right here, right? 2 and you okay, buddy? Can you see what I'm doing? What's that? Well, we only have 6 numbers in our table, right? So I'm going 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm at, I just plotted, we started 0, 100, 1 and 120, 2 and 140. Where are we? 3 and 160, 4 and 180. 5 and 200, right? And we got one more to do, 6 and 220. Does that check out with our table? It does, 6 and 220. Okay? So, how am I ever going to get all the way over to 52? What can I do? You guys remember doing this? Say that again, Carrie Ann.
Draw the line and then plot it.
Okay, good. What line are we drawing? Are we just drawing a random line?
Yes, please.
Is that's not useful? Are we gonna draw? Does this sound better? Are we gonna do this? I'll do it in in orange now, Sean. Okay. Does this look better? You guys get your ruler out and just go through all the dots. I don't know if we have enough. We'll see. Oh, I think I got it. I think it should work. Does that look better? That looks like it's kind of gone through the dots. Close. This isn't the most accurate method. This is why it's number 2 and not number 1. I'll show you number 1 in a second for this sort of thing.
Is that the equation?
The equation. You okay, buddy?
Close to the wall because this is what I just did.
Did you try? You got to plot. Oh, do you want to see the numbers at the bottom? Here, there are the numbers at the bottom. I'm just counting by 2s, buddy. Each box is 2. Okay. Everybody should have a little bit of a guess now as to what their answer. I'm gonna come bounce around here for a second more people get caught up. Okay? You should have used your ruler to draw the line through the dots. Now you can use that line that you drew to take a guess as to how much money there was in the savings account. Okay? Did you take a guess? What were you doing to do this? Yes. Good. No, you don't want to do it. Yes. Okay, I'll stop. That's good, John. I'll talk about that in a second. No, you don't want this thing.
I'm done.
Is that okay? Okay, it's 50 times 20. Yeah, but then what'd you do here? 20 times 52? That's 100. That's equal.
And then once you get to 10, then just count over.
Magic, eh? This isn't the best way to do it. That's the best way to do it. Because that's a powerful thing. I could ask you how much money would be in there after 96 weeks. You can answer like that.
And then count over 5 more to get to 100.
What did you get? You tried it? Yeah, that's it. That's right. What's the number? Yeah, just above.
So I think I might have like put these a little bit off.
Yeah, let's check. Well, the graphing's not the most accurate thing, right? Because everybody's gonna draw their graph and label their axes different. That's not the best way to do it. It's a way, which is why it's on here. I gotta label my axis still here. Lexi, just check how steep your line is there.
John McKay, man, should I go get the light slip?
No, I haven't done attendance yet. You meant your alarm didn't go off. I gotta do it. Ruth's gonna call.
My alarm did go off in the car. I showed my mom.
That's not useful to me.
Okay, well, I'm here in alone right now.
Colby, what you get? What you get? Leia, what you get?
1,140.
Oh, we got an extra 100.
That's what I like to do.
Where am I? Okay, everybody caught up? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna find 52. I'm gonna find the 52. And I'm gonna read up. What's wrong with my graph? It's giving me like, I don't know. It's giving me something like that numerically, my graph. So maybe, Colby, I don't know, maybe when you guys do this, you might miscount a box or something. That's a lot of boxes to count, right? So there are times where this is why this is not the best method, because you're counting. Look how many boxes I counted there. It's a high percentage, not a high percent. There's a high probability of making an error just because of how small and finesse that is. Now, if we can for a second, Colby, can you tell me what you said your equation was? Okay, didn't you have some words at the top? $52 plus 100, right? That's what you said? Okay, that's the math. Now, what I want you guys to do, that was equal to the total, right? We're just gonna start slotting some like words in here. Okay, so most of you can just do the math like that, right? But I want to see the equation. And there's not a huge jump between doing it, what you just said, and writing an equation on your page. What did we say the total savings was? That's y. So I'm gonna write y equals $20 multiplied, what's the number, what's 52, Colby? What's 52? Yes, and that's what? That's x, so 20x it's like magic, but not. Right? Now I can plug in whatever I want. As long as you know that X is the number of weeks and Y is your total amount of money, you can plug in whatever you want and tell me how much money would be in there. It doesn't matter. Under these conditions, like how much would your trip be? Also, can we just contextualize for a second that if you guys had a part-time job, you put $20 away every week? Look how much money you had. What was the answer, Colby? Can we just contextualize? Like, that's a lot of money for $20 a week. Plus $100, but still. $20 a week. Isn't that crazy? How much money is that after, I don't know, 2 years, Colby? What's 2 years in weeks? How much is 2 years in weeks? 100 how many? Yeah, so it's 100, it'd be 104, right? So, how much money would you have after 104 weeks? Stop being so fast. Well, y equals 20 times 104 plus 100. Doesn't matter what I ask you. What is it? Leia, did you get a number? Did you get a number for that one? No?
1,140.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were doing this one. That's okay. What's 20 times 104?
2,080.
That seems impressive, doesn't it? You know, maybe by the time here, you guys are in, maybe you start getting a job right now. And then let me just ask you another question, just theoretically. You guys get a job now, and your parents make you do this every week. You put $20 away. At the end of high school, you want to go buy a car, right? How many years are you in high school?
4.
Right, 4 times how many weeks in a year? Okay, so what's that number?
208 weeks.
So 208.
Times 20 is 20.
Okay, so just one sec, let me catch up. So then you use your equation. 20 times 208. Here, I'm gonna write it. How much money do you have at the end of high school to buy a car or whatever?
Plus 100 is 100 the overhead like that we start with.
Yes, your parents gave you $100.
Oh,
Colby?
yeah.
What is it?
4,000.
Yeah, you're gonna. How much is it?
$4,260.
That seems like you could probably get a car or pay your tuition or whatever for what? $20 a week. Yes, Tosif? Oh, you gotta finish the equation. There you go. It's right here. That's what our rule is for the number of tiles that I see on my desk. Our equation. Rule. Stage number of tiles. Make sense? Okay. So on the back. And keep in mind that that's not to discredit any of those methods on the front side. They're all valid. So you can like represent things in words. You can represent them as table of values. You can represent them as graphs, and you can represent them as equations. The important part for you guys to know is that each of them does their own thing well. A graph does not estimate long-term trends. It's not 100% accurate. An equation does a very good job at that. But if you guys want to use like interpolation and figure out stuff within a data set, then the graph is probably the best. They're just fastest, right?
Find where the line in your 6 was where you're trying to see.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
time and-
What we're going to see, being able to produce that, what we're going to do after, I'm going to give you a minute to work on the back, and then I'll try a couple of on the last page with you. Hopefully we can develop a pattern and see something. Does that make sense? So guys, try the back one. It's almost the same. You get to make up the question this time in words, okay?